Welcome to Stuck, Time to Improv. I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff, and I want startups to be wildly successful. Today, we're going to be talking about partnerships with Sue Schuster from bizfi.io. Thanks for coming, Sue.
Thanks, Mary. Happy to be here.
So, let's talk about partnerships. What goes into a good partnership?
Win-win for everyone. So, a partnership should be somebody that you can help, that they can help you, that pushes you along to get you where you want to go. You don't ever want a partnership that actually drains you because if you look at the top five people you deal with every day, if they are very successful people, you will be too. But if you have one or two that drains you, then you won't be as successful as you would be otherwise.
Okay, and why would someone want to consider a partnership in the first place?
Because they have something that you don't. I mean, when you're looking at your life partner, whoever that may be, hopefully they are not a copy image of you. And when you're looking at partnerships within your business, then they have skills that you don't have, because everybody's great at something, but not nobody's great at everything. So finding the partners that you can reach out to, that you trust, that complement you, makes everybody better.
The other thing is that co-founders tend to be more successful than solopreneurs, right?
I'd say yeah, but sometimes that goes south as well, because you can be good partners to begin with, but then you want to go in one direction and they want to go in another, and then there's an impasse. So a solopreneur can be like the way to go sometimes, especially if you are good at delegating. So you can be a solopreneur and be in charge and be the owner of your company, but then have a second in command that you maybe give a lot of profit sharing to. I mean, a lot of perks. However, they're not the owner. So you don't run into the headbutting that might come later down the road.
Okay. Are there ways to vet someone as a potential partner?
For me, it's a whole lot of chemistry. Like, do I get along with person? Do they understand my humor? Very dry sense of humor over here. Do they do we just jive? Are they outgoing? I look at the person and then figure out the skill.
Mhm.
And often, even when I owned my business before, I would hire people before I had a role for them because I'm just like, you are amazing. Not sure what I'm going to do with you yet, but I need to have you on my team. And then we'd come up for a role for them. So I definitely hire the person, teach the skill, or
Mhm.
hire the partner, find the partner, and then find where they belong in your life. But sometimes you just kind of know that this is the person that you need to either partner with or hire or whatever else. You need to do business with this person. I go a lot with the personality, the knowledge, the energy of the other person.
So there are different kinds of partnerships, right? There are partnerships where you're co-founders and you're both working in the same business, on the same business. And then there are partnerships where essentially you partner up with a customer for a certain amount of time for a
Mhm.
project or those kinds of things. Is there a difference in those relationships?
Of course, is one, and many of them are very legal. As in, I want to sell my business, and maybe my partnership is a co-ownership, but I do all the front stuff, and she does the finances. So we have very different roles, and but then we both get paid the same. And somebody might like, well, I work a whole lot more than you do. You just give me the money. Well, without the money, I couldn't have the business. So it kind of just goes all sorts of different ways, and one is very long term as in the business, like you get married business style when
Right.
you're a co-founder. But when you have like maybe you're a coach and you get a client and now you've got a contract with them, I'm going to do this project for so much amount of time for this much money. But there's an end to that, as opposed to the end is sell our business and that may or may not go well. Then we're mad at each other for or love each other forever. I mean, it could go both ways. So definitely a huge difference between I'm a co-owner and I have a other client relationship.
Okay. So what advice do you have for startups about partnerships at this point?
Careful, careful, careful is what I have to say. Family can be one sort of, and I did that. I did a family business. And when you do that, when you go to Christmas, then you still are at work. and you're still talking about work. And the other family members that are not involved in are just like, dude, you guys are still talking about work. Well, that's what we do. So you got the family co-ownership thing that has its own dynamics. And then you have the I've been friends forever dynamic, as in like we've been friends since high school and we know each other really, really well. And those, I mean, they can work too, but you also sort of have the family dynamic. Just be really careful. Put together a very good document, an operating agreement, an ownership agreement, articles of incorporation, all of those things while you still like each other because it might go south. And I don't want to be a naysayer on all these things because some of them go fantastic forever and others of them don't. But if you have that legal document, then everybody knows what the rules are. If we want to sever this, if we want to dissolve, if you want to buy me out, if you want to whatever, these are the rules that we agreed upon when we liked each other. And it tends to go a whole lot better rather than, hey, let's just be partners. You put in half, I'll put in half, and we'll go with it. Because you're kind of playing with fire.
Have the rules, have a plan, always a good idea. And if somebody doesn't want to do that, they're not a good partner. Well, thank you so much, Sue Schuster from bizfi.io. We'll put some contact information in the comments for people. And I'm Mary Scott with Business Riff. I want startups to be wildly successful. And one of the best things you can do to accomplish that is book a call with me at businessriff.com. And join us again next time for Stop, Time to Improv.